Coco Gauff speaks out after critics target her hair in Miu Miu campaign. Coco Gauff is speaking up after receiving online criticism about her hair, turning a fashion campaign into a bigger conversation about beauty standards, black hair, and who gets to be seen as polished. The 22-year-old tennis star addressed the backlash in a TikTok video after photos from her recent Miu Miu Vivant bag campaign began circulating online. Gauff shared the campaign on Instagram on April 2nd, writing, "Big Bag Day means my Miu Miu Vivant can carry just about anything I need." What followed, though, was a wave of commentary about her appearance, especially her hair. Gauff said the look was intentional from the start. "I did my everyday hair and makeup because that was personally the point," she said in the video. She also explained why she chose not to wear a slicked back style, saying, "I personally don't like to slick back my hair super sleek because it does damage my hair. I'm not going to apologize for the way that my hair looked," Gauff said. "My hair was good enough for a high-fashion brand like Miu Miu to promote one of their newest launches. So, if my 4C hair is good enough for that, then yours is good enough to do whatever you need it to do." For Gauff, the issue was never just one photo shoot. It was about what it means for young black girls to see themselves represented without having to flatten, overstyle, or transform their hair into something more acceptable. "To all the young black girls out there who have kinky hair like me, do what you want to do with your hair," she said. "Do what you want to do because people are going to hate on you regardless." She also acknowledged that the criticism hit a nerve. Gauff said, "I'm not going to lie, for 2 days I was feeling rough," before adding, "Y'all did knock a diva down, but diva got up." That response is part of why the moment resonated far beyond tennis or fashion. Black hair has long been policed in schools, workplaces, and public life under the language of neatness, professionalism, or being put together. That history helps explain why some of the reactions to Gauff's campaign felt so familiar. Gauff, though, made clear she is not interested in shrinking herself to fit someone else's comfort level. She said she made the video because she wanted girls with hair like hers to know, "Your hair is literally fine the way it is." And that, more than the backlash itself, is the real takeaway. The Black Information Network is your source for Black news. Get the latest news 24/7 on the Black Information Network. Listen now on the iHeartRadio app or click here to tune in. Live. Coco Gauff has never been just a tennis player. From the moment she burst onto the global stage as a teenager, she has represented something larger: youth, confidence, resilience, and a new generation redefining beauty and identity on its own terms. So when criticism emerged over her appearance, specifically her hair, in a high-fashion campaign with Miu Miu, the conversation quickly became about far more than style. It became about authenticity, cultural expectations, and the courage to exist unapologetically in spaces that haven't always been welcoming. The campaign itself was visually striking: bold silhouettes, clean lines, and a sense of modern elegance that aligned perfectly with Coco's poised public image. Yet, amid the praise, a wave of critics took to social media, questioning her hair, its texture, its styling, its deviation from traditional fashion norms. What might seem like a superficial critique at first glance revealed something deeper: a persistent discomfort with natural beauty that doesn't conform to long-established standards. Coco's response, however, was not defensive or combative. It was calm, grounded, and powerful in its simplicity. She reminded the world that her hair, like her identity, is not up for validation. It exists as it is, authentic, evolving, and deeply personal. In doing so, she shifted the narrative. The conversation was no longer about whether her hair fit the campaign, but about why such expectations exist in the first place. There is a long history behind this moment. For decades, Black athletes and public figures have faced scrutiny not just for their performance, but for their appearance, especially their hair. From braids to curls to natural styles, these expressions have often been politicized, judged, or deemed unprofessional by outdated standards. Coco Gauff, standing at the intersection of sport and fashion, found herself confronting that legacy in real time, but what makes her response so impactful is her refusal to be reduced to the criticism. She did not attempt to over-explain or reshape herself to appease detractors. Instead, she embraced the moment as an opportunity to reinforce self-acceptance, not just for herself, But for the countless young people watching her, in many ways, Coco represents a shift in cultural power. She belongs to a generation that is less willing to conform and more determined to define beauty on its own terms. Her presence in a luxury fashion campaign is already a statement, an athlete stepping into a traditionally exclusive space and owning it fully. The criticism she faced only underscores how necessary that presence is. What's particularly striking is how effortlessly she balances confidence with humility. She doesn't position herself as a spokesperson or activist in the traditional sense, yet her actions carry that weight naturally. By simply being herself, on the court, in front of the camera, and in the public eye, she challenges long-standing norms without needing to announce it. The reaction to the controversy also revealed a powerful counter-narrative. Fans, fellow athletes, and public figures rallied behind her, celebrating her authenticity and calling out the narrow standards that fueled the criticism. Social media, often a breeding ground for negativity, became a space of affirmation and support. It showed that while outdated views still exist, they are increasingly being met with resistance. At Coco's moment with the Miu Miu campaign is not just about fashion. It's about visibility. It's about who gets to be seen and how they are allowed to show up. When someone like Coco enters these spaces without altering herself to fit a mold, it creates room for others to do the same. It tells young girls, especially those who share her background, that they don't have to change to be accepted. They already belonged. There's also an important lesson here about the nature of. Subscribe to the channel, like, comment, share, and press the bell icon next to it.